It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Please excuse the two of us because we've been stuffing our face with Turkish cuisine before the break.
That's what we're doing.
Really nice. So there is garlic permeating across the studio right now, which you don't want when you're meeting your in-laws for the first time. But building a relationship, maintaining a relationship with your in-laws can be difficult. There's a reason why we've got that kind of the cliches around that particular relationship. And a little bit earlier, we obviously spoke about the tips to make a good first impression with your new partner's parents especially. But unfortunately, there are some instances in which even when you have applied your best efforts in getting along with your partner's parents, it just doesn't gel. There may be some difficulties, maybe you are very different people, and these may be exacerbated after the parents have officially become your in-laws. And that's what we're talking about, Chaz. Difficult one.
That's our chat. Today we're asking, how do you handle those difficult relations with your in-laws? The relationship architect Shelley Lewin is in the building to help us discuss and unpack this really hot topic, and we'd love to hear from you, any of your questions and your comments. So please do comment on our Facebook page and we'll engage with you live right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Shelley, so good to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back.
It's a big one.
It is.
It's a tough one, but there's a reason why. This is kind of like, again, I'll use the term, it's a universal kind of truth that it is a difficult thing to meet your parents. You're dating your partner, you're not dating or marrying the parents, but we come, unfortunately, as a package deal, or fortunately. It can be a beautiful thing. Let's start at the very beginning. Why is it important to make a good first impression? Can you recover from a bad first impression? 10 years down the line, the mother still hates you because you used her special crockery when you shouldn't have done. You know, like, can you recover from a bad first impression?
Well, I think that you can if the intention is there to make it work.
Okay.
So let's start by saying that. And also to point to something that you said earlier, that we can choose our friends, we can't choose our families, and our in-laws we inherit. So what happens, I think, is that our in-laws have really got these ideas or ideals about who's going to be a good fit for their child, and when you don't meet or match that fit, then that's probably where the problems start. And, you know, at the end of the day, you're probably going to be spending a lifetime, hopefully, with these people. So if you can make it work and make it enjoyable, then everybody benefits. So I would say if your intention is you want, if it's important to your partner, and these are relationships that are important to your partner, at the very least, to be respectful of them.
Try, suck it up.
Using your mother-in-law's favorite crockery when you went mentor is probably the least of the concerns that people are faced with when it comes to navigating that space. What are some of the big reasons that children or partners may not get along with their partner's in-laws?
Well, as I said, I think there's about that fit, that there's that mismatch. And, you know, in a lot of cultures, there's a lot of ideals about how things ought to be. And our parents were a product of their environment, we're a product of our environment, and they come into this space with this idea of how things should be done, whether it's how you're raising your children or the kinds of foods you should be feeding your husband and your children, whatever it is. And, you know, as mothers, I think mothers feel very strongly that they know what's best for their children.
I've spent a lifetime conditioning my child, and now you want to come and reprogram.
Exactly. So if there's these strong expectations and it goes different to that, that's obviously grounds for a lot of conflict.
Politics, the way that you view the world in that sense, very important. Well, the one that the most cliches are come into effect has got to be a mother, a woman and her mother-in-law.
Yes.
Is this the case? Have we painted this with the dark brush?
No, you know what? I think the statistics show that about 60% of daughter-in-laws have problems with their mother-in-law. So, you know, it's more normal.
As written by a mother-in-law.
Yeah, so the monster-in-law thing is quite standard or fairly... But I think that, again, it comes down to if a mother's belief is that the daughter should be obedient. That's where the problem comes, because you can be respectful of somebody, but you don't need to be obedient. And perhaps moms have this idea that children should be obedient. You can respect them and honor them. You can seek their counsel. You can ask their opinion. At the end of the day, adult children need to do what's best for them. And a couple is the center of the family nucleus. So I talk about the couple being the A team, right? They're the A team. They're the
You're on the reserves now.
Well, and they're the A team. Their dependents are the B team, and the extended family are the C team. Friends, the D team. So the couple, the A team, need to decide what's best for them and the best way forward for them and their family.
Oh, Shelley, it feels like you're talking to someone in particular. I don't think you want to say that to camera. Do you want to just look at the camera?
But of course, it is a hot topic. We've got Shelley Lewin, our relationship architect here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We really do want to hear from you. And I mean, the thing about this is it's a two-sided sort of conversation to have. So if you're an in-law and you've had experiences with your child's partner, for example, we'd like to hear from you on Facebook.
If he's just not good enough for your
If
daughter,
you feel that way, and how you navigated that and how you managed to sort of get into that relationship, comment on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. We'll be back with more.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso on Monday, so we're talking relationships. And today, the relationship architect, Shelley Lewin, is in the hot seat to help us discuss quite a hot topic, how couples can navigate the tricky waters of relationships with their in-laws. And we'd love to hear your questions or your comments. Maybe you have an amazing relationship with your in-law. Maybe your relationship with your partner's mother freaks her out because it's so good. You can let us know. Shelley would love to also answer those. Don't guffaw in the background there, dude. We love this. We love navigating these tricky waters because it is something that anyone in a relationship is going to have to get through. Maybe it's compounded, Shelley, if you're all living in the same house together, which does happen. There are many circumstances that can throw you all into the same mix. Is that really, how difficult is it to manage that, and could it intensify things if you're all under one roof?
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. Merging of families, many people living under one roof is going to exacerbate things because, as I said earlier, a couple is normally the center of the nucleus of the family. So when you're merged and there's few families living under one roof, who's the head of the home? So what's the hierarchy? Who's actually the boss and makes the decisions? So I would say that in a situation when you're all living together under one roof, you really need to have clear boundaries around roles and responsibilities, you know, and also expectations. What are the expectations? When do the couple get to have their own private time? What are the expectations?
But who sets the tone? Excuse me, just jumping in there, but do you go and have this conversation? You sit your in-laws down, all right, guys, this is how it's going to work.
Well, I do
all right,
think...
Thursday, or is it up for your partner to preemptively kind of have that chat?
Well, ideally, the couple will discern between the two of them, how would we like to navigate this, you know, and what does that look like? And then probably respectfully, if the husband's family, for him to probably initiate those conversations and to talk about how, you know, how do we all create a space where we can honor and respect each other and fulfill our emotional, physical needs in everybody's under one roof. And communication is a crucial piece of that, healthy communication, positive effect of communication. And we said earlier that sometimes having arguments is healthy, you know, healthy.
Yeah, conflict model.
Exactly, fight the problem, not the person, you know, figure it out as you go, sort it out, work it out.
Often you can build respect in that space, depending on how you conduct yourself.
How you go about it.
Yeah.
But I'm imagining, and tell me if I'm wrong, to think that it is, and it should be, the person whose parents it is that sort of cultivates and sort of creates the environment. So your partner can't just throw you into the deep end and go swim at my shop.
All right, Mom, this is him.
And then step back. You kind of have to like lead it, drive it, and manage it, right?
Absolutely, yeah. There's going to be, of course, a period of adjustment. You know, the family dynamic is a powerful one, and you're bringing someone external into that family dynamic. So there's going to be some turbulence, some adjustment. And then it's up to the partner to initiate and to navigate those conversations that he's already had with his partner, and they've decided how we are going to, what's best for us, and for him to, or her, whoever's parents it is, to initiate those conversations.
If something is insurmountable, if maybe something happens or there is a difference in ethics and it feels like you'll never get past that, how do you deal with that?
Well, as I said right at the very beginning, I think intention is everything, okay? That if you have intention and you consistently make effort to try and resolve the issue. The second thing is empathy. You really need to hear and listen, put yourself in your in-laws' shoes, you know, really attempt to listen, validate their feelings, try and seek to understand what is it that they are trying to, you know, to bring across. Exactly. Again, it's about being respectful. You don't have to be obedient, but be respectful, and find the things that you do enjoy about them. Highlight the things that you can appreciate about them. So, you know, it's a process.
Yes.
It's a journey. And if you're giving up because the first year that you get married is probably going to be the most difficult, and the first year that you have children will be the most difficult. Okay, so it's about a journey, and you want to keep persisting with showing your good intent.
Yeah.
It sounds like it is a work of respect, number one, but it's also about intention and just being present and sincerity.
Yeah,
and I think it's about going in there with an open mind and sort of having no preconceived ideas of what they're looking to get out of you and really working at it together.
Yeah, the person that suffers the most is your partner, who then often becomes the referee. And that's, so, you know, you really, that's not a helpful situation for anyone. And so I would say that as much as possible to between the two of you as a partnership, to work it out between the two of you as the centre of the family, and then for the parent, the child, to deal with his parents, and then if that doesn't work, then you can have a meeting like where you're all involved, like adults, and have an adult conversation.
I absolutely love it. To empathise, life will be a lot easier for you, and what you can't change, suck it up, because it's love, baby. It's love. You love it all. Shelley, you are awesome. You are the architect indeed. Thank you so much. You can continue to let us know, give us some tips about how you handle the tricky waters of forming a relationship with your in-laws.